Hello everyone and welcome back to another video about Assassin's Creed. So in today's video I've kind of got a little Assassin's Creed discussion for you guys. I'm going to be talking about the reasons why we loved Assassin's Creed 2, because obviously as you saw in one of my previous videos listing all the Assassin's Creed games, Assassin's Creed 2 is my favourite out of all the Assassin's Creed games, and today I'm going to kind of give you a bit more of an in-depth explanation why. Obviously, like I did explain kind of in that video, but now I'm going to do a whole video on it telling you guys why I and many people loved Assassin's Creed 2 and it's still our favorite game to this day. I did actually do a similar video to this before. It was called Why We Love Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, so if you enjoyed this video you can always go and watch that one after this one. And yeah, without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. So first of all, I love Assassin's Creed 2 because it made everything in Assassin's Creed 1 so much better. Literally, it improved on everything that was in the first Assassin's Creed game. It improved on the combat, it improved on the cities, the arsenal of weaponry. It did so much for the series, and it just improved everything about the first game. Basically, the cities in Assassin's Creed 1, there wasn't an awful lot to do in them, and they were pretty small. Whereas in Assassin's Creed 2, there was loads of side content. You could do like the feathers, you could get the chests, you could do the beat-up events, the races, and there was so much compared to the first game in Assassin's Creed 2 that there wasn't there before. And the cities were also bigger as well. Like Florence, the original Florence before Bonfire of the Vanities was released, was like one of the biggest cities in Assassin's Creed apart from Venice. When the Bonfire of the Vanities was introduced, it was even bigger than it was before. Like, the cities in Assassin's Creed 1 will always be something that I hold dear to my heart because you have the three main cities, Jerusalem, Acre, and Damascus, but in Assassin's Creed 2, they definitely improved 100% on the cities. They were bigger, had more stuff to do, and they felt just generally more alive than the cities in the first games. Well, that doesn't mean the cities in the first games are bad. The cities in the first games were fucking great, especially for the time that they were around. 2007, you know, there wasn't many open world games that had cities as extensive and as detailed as the cities in Assassin's Creed 1, but these cities were made so much better in the second game. Like, oh my god, it was amazing. Immediately when you're put into Florence in Assassin's Creed 2, the world immediately feels a lot more alive than the cities in Assassin's Creed 1, and it is truly an amazing experience. I don't quite remember the feeling that I got when I played Assassin's Creed 2 for the first time, although I do remember the feeling I got when I played the Ezio collection in Assassin's Creed 2 for the first time, and the city just felt alive, it just felt living, and obviously the improved graphics and the improved textures of the Ezio collection enhanced that experience even more. Something else that made Assassin's Creed 2 so great is that it had such a large arsenal of weaponry, especially comparing it to the first game again. You had different, you know, types of weapons. There wasn't only swords this time. There were, you know, heavy weapons you could pick up off the ground. There were daggers, there were blunt weapons, there were swords, and it was really awesome because you had so many weapons, and all of your weapons were put in the Villa's armory in Montergione. Whereas in Assassin's Creed 1, you kind of just get a new sword, it'll be more powerful than the last, and that'd be it. You wouldn't be able to swap out your weapon or change it for something else or go back to your first sword. You just have to, you know, deal with it and just kind of go along as the game progresses. I personally loved the customization in Assassin's Creed 2 and in the Ezio games as a whole. I thought it was like really different to how other games do it, where there's no leveling up. It's just as you progress through the game, there's more weapons available at shops that you can buy, and then you eventually accumulated this huge arsenal of weapons, and then you could use this however you wanted to. You could go back to your most powerful sword, you could go to your most weak sword. It gave you the freedom to do that, whereas Assassin's Creed 1 didn't, and you know, later games kind of have too much in terms of customization, especially Assassin's Creed Unity. Like, I never thought I'd be able to say a game could have too much customization, but in terms of an Assassin's Creed game, I liked the simplistic customization that was in Assassin's Creed 2. Something else that was amazing about Assassin's Creed 2 was the refined combat. Now, it wasn't changed an awful lot from the first game, but it was changed enough that it felt a lot better. Plus, there was loads more combat styles for the new weapons that were in the game, like the heavy weapons, like the long weapons, and the blunt weapons that were introduced into Assassin's Creed 2. Also, in the game, they added in a proper combat system for hidden blade combat, in which Ezio could block with his hidden blades, and then you could also counter, and there were some really, really cool counters and combos that they made for the hidden blades, especially the one where he kind of repeatedly stabs a guard in the chest until he's dead. I'm going to take a step back from gameplay aspects and kind of talk about the story and the characters that were involved in Assassin's Creed 2. Instantly, when you start playing as Ezio, the majority of people loved him. Like, I remember thinking, this guy is so much different to Altair, but he's fucking awesome. Like, one of the first lines of one of the first things he says to Vieira de Pazzi was, "Your sister seemed quite satisfied with the handling I gave her earlier." And that was just, it just showed the witty comebacks that Ezio had and the banter that you can have with his friends. And it was just, it kind of set up the foundation, like, I'm gonna like this character, I'm gonna get to know him well, and you do in the game. His character progression is fucking phenomenal. It's ridiculous how he goes from that witty, kind of very not caring 17-year-old to like the 30-year-old at the end of Assassin's Creed 2, where he's like a master assassin and he's in the Vatican. But yeah, overall Ezio gave like a very likable vibe as soon as he was placed in the game. You know, I loved his character straight away, and he's my favorite Assassin's Creed character ever. I love him, I love his setting, I love the game that he's in. But that's not just because I'm an Ezio dick rider. I don't just fucking go, oh, Ezio's the best because AC2's the best, and I'm just gonna love everything Ezio because it's Ezio. I have a reason for loving his character, and that's just the fact that, one, we were with him for so long, and two, his character progresses so much throughout the games that, like, if you look back to the very first game, when you play the ending of Assassin's Creed 2, he's almost an unrecognizable character, but you can still kind of see the traits that he has when he's like kind of witty. He has those comebacks to like people he's talking to, and you know, he's just overall such an amazing character. It also wasn't only Ezio that was an amazing character in Assassin's Creed 2. We had characters like Bartolomeo, like Leonardo, like La Volpe and Machiavelli, characters like that were just interacted with Ezio so well and kind of complemented him as a character. They were all so great, and they were all so set apart from each other. Whereas this wasn't something that was ever really done before on Assassin's Creed, because it was more focused on the gameplay aspects and the fact that you were a badass assassin that was working for this ancient order. But in Assassin's Creed 2, they kind of fleshed everything out, and they kind of made all of the characters stand out from each other. Like, no character in Assassin's Creed 2 you can be like, oh, they're basically the same person, because they're all so different from each other. And also, how can you not love a character like Leonardo, and how can you not love seeing Ezio and Leonardo's relationship as like friends progress over the games, and how in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood he like calls him his old friend and stuff. It's really nice. And then Assassin's Creed 2 is obviously the origin of their friendship, and you kind of see how everything begins and the first time they meet and everything, and it's just, oh, it's done so well. All the characters, they're so well integrated with the world and with each other, and it's such a believable cast of people. This is the same in the modern day. Desmond and Lucia's characters were fleshed out quite a bit in the modern day of Assassin's Creed 2, especially Desmond. In Assassin's Creed 1, he was kind of like a bit bland, just standard American male that you played as, whereas in Assassin's Creed 2, he cracked jokes, he was sarcastic, he had banter with Lucy, Sean, and Rebecca, and that's kind of how the modern day progressed in Assassin's Creed 2. They introduced more characters, Desmond escaped from Abstergo, and it was all just pretty great. Like, it was so much more extensive than the modern day in Assassin's Creed 1. They improved so much on that, and I still believe that Assassin's Creed 2 has one of the best modern days behind Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed 3 in the Assassin's Creed series to date. I do think there could have been more modern day sections in Assassin's Creed 2. There was only like a couple throughout the whole game, and there was one very tiny bit in the middle of the game where Desmond desyncs from Ezio and he comes out of the Animus, and Lucy asks him if he wants to stop, and he goes, no, I need to go back in there. But I don't really count that as a modern day section. There could have definitely been more modern day sections in the game. There wasn't too many at all, but there was things related to the modern day, like the Truth, which was absolutely amazing because it like kept that kind of cryptic vibe that was always so great in Assassin's Creed. And also the Truth was kind of creepy as well, because you didn't really know who 16 was. He wasn't talked about an awful lot. All you know that he left symbols on the walls of your bedroom in Assassin's Creed 1, and it was just very kind of creepy, and you learned so much about things that we mentioned in Assassin's Creed in the future. But yeah, Assassin's Creed 2 is by no means a perfect game, but it got so many things right in such an early game. Like, it was the second game in the series, and it got so many things right, and it's what I want Assassin's Creed to kind of return to. Not just be a complete carbon copy of it, that's not what I want at all, but in terms of how like customization works, in terms of how progression works, in terms of how characters work, you know, I kind of want that back. because the main characters in Assassin's Creed haven't been anything near what Ezio was in terms of how we were connected to him in recent games, and I just want, you know, that stuff to come back. I want to feel connected to the main protagonist. I want to really like the main protagonist, because I hold Ezio in such high regard, but that doesn't mean I want someone that could possibly rival him as one of my favorite characters in the series. Like, I would love for that to happen. But Assassin's Creed 2 improved on so many things that the first game had, and it added so much more to the game as well, and I love it. I love the setting, I love the characters, I love the customization, I love the progression of the game, and I love the fucking story. Like, the story is amazing. But there's not really much else I can talk about. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was just a really kind of quick video talking about the reasons why I love Assassin's Creed 2, and many other people love Assassin's Creed 2 as well. Be sure to go ahead and like and subscribe for more Assassin's Creed content in the future, and also remember to comment down in the comment section below reasons why you love Assassin's Creed 2, if you love it, or like good things you think about Assassin's Creed 2. This is kind of a hard one to ask for comments for, but just comment what you want. I don't really care. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!